depending on where you're joining from. And Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the webinar series, which the APPNA, which is Association of Pakistani Physicians in North America, has been doing under the MERIT subcommittee, which is the Medical Education, Research, International Training, and Transfer of Technology. My name is Dr. Sarfraz Hasni, and I am a rheumatologist and clinical researcher based in at the National Institutes of Health in Bethesda, Maryland, and joined by our panelists, Dr. Saeed Uzair, Dr. Omar Hayat, and Dr. Sarwat Hussain. So I would like to welcome each one of you, and just some few housekeeping rules is to make sure that you keep yourself mute and put your question and answers in the Q&A chat window, which is right below and next to the where you see the participants and chat. So put it in the Q&A, and we'll try to get to as many questions and answers as possible. We try to wrap up the presentation in about 45 minutes and then have some comments from our panelists, and then we'll come to the Q&A. With that brief overview, we'll like to welcome today's speaker is Professor Dr. Mohammad Irfan, who is a professor of psychiatry and the chair of Department of Mental Health and Behavioral Sciences at Peshawar Medical College. He also has a position of Professor of Public Health and Director of Research and Chair of the Institutional Review Board at Prime Foundation. He holds significant international leadership roles, including the President-elect of the World Association of Cultural Psychiatry and Director of Research and Innovation at the Asian Cognitive Behavioral Therapy Association. He's also president of the Pakistan Association of Medical Editors, chief editor of Journal of Postgraduate Medical Institute, and associate editor of the Journal of Pakistan Psychiatric Society, advisory member of the ASEAN Journal of Psychiatry and Pakistan Journal of Physiology. He's a member of the World Association of Medical Editors and the Eastern Mediterranean Association of Medical Editors. He has a PhD, which is Summa cum laude, focus on culturally adaptive interventions of CBT. He has authored numerous publications in high-impact journals and contributed books and chapters published by various famous publishers around the world. He has pioneered the culturally adaptive self-help books and materials, contributing significantly to the field of mental health within diverse cultural context. His main professional interests include global mental health, cultural psychiatry, non-pharmacological adaptive interventions in lower and middle income countries, transcultural and translational research, digital mental health, focusing on innovations in psychiatric using e-health and m-health. So as you can see, it's a very brief introduction, but Dr. Saab is very well accomplished, and I can go on and on, but I will hand it over to Professor Dr. Mohammad Irfan and ask him to please take it away. Again, thank you so much, Dr. Saab, and we are looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I am grateful for introducing me to this extent. Thank you very much once again. As instructed, I'll try to be brief, and I'll try to cover the basic things regarding what Prime Foundation has to offer in the Pakistan clinical research landscape, as well as going into the details of various aspects that we want to focus. But before that, I'll just introduce briefly about Prime Foundation. This is a picture on my right where the Prime Foundation exists in Peshawar Medical College. My introduction has already been given. So Prime Foundation is basically a not-for-profit charitable organization with focus on education, health, research, and social development. So if you see that this focus has been all evolving in various aspects, because these are very interconnected areas, and we have been working on this for almost 2 decades. So the vision and mission has been excellence in professional competence and ethical values, and the institutes that are associated with this Prime Foundation of Peshawar Medical College, Peshawar Dental College, Rufaidah Nursing College, Prime Institute of Public Health, and Prime Institute of Allied Health Sciences. These are some certification, and these are some MOUs that Prime Foundation has with international university. So these are some academic aspects of Prime Foundation, which you can see. So just have a brief overview of clinical research in Pakistan. The first clinical trial in Pakistan date back to 1963 to 64 with cholera vaccine trials in East Pakistan. Recent PubMed search revealed that during the first year, there were just 4 clinical trials, and then gradually this increased from 1969 to 1990, where 40 trials were registered. But then came a surge where in the next 10 years, 152 trials took place. Another surge, 403 trials in the next 10 years. And from 2011, almost 2,800 trials have been published. Now, that's a PubMed search that has been revealing that. There are a lot of other publication sources where we can search that, trade literature, a lot of things, but this is what is available at the moment. Registration of these clinical trials like WHO, ICTRP, or the clinicaltrials.gov have shown a limited number of trials to be registered, which has been somewhat a problem in the dissemination of research that has been going on in Pakistan. And similar is the impact of Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan and its clinical trial registry, with very few registered trials, although it's not recognized as a primary registry, but yet again, being local in Pakistan, it should have been more. What we want to say is that when we consider globally, despite the large population of Pakistan, growing pharmaceutical market, Pakistan only contributes 0.1% to global clinical trials, reflecting an underutilization of all the resources that could have been gone very higher and utilized much better. The Office of Research, Innovation and Commercialization, that is the hub of research in Prime Foundation, has been the main office where everything takes place. The guiding principles that we base on are the protection, strengthening, and promoting Prime Foundation's interests through integrated planning, embedding research culture across all Prime Foundation departments, identifying key industries for advanced research and collaboration, utilize cutting-edge approaches to address research questions, aim for patentable products and service to tackle challenges. And that's how we move on to achieve our principles in the longer run. Looking at this, the regulatory framework is very simple. We deal with students' research, faculty research, and this is supported by Public Health Intervention Unit, and there is a primary care outlet, which is a very important aspect of our future plans. I'm going to go in details about all these in the few slides that are next to this. So, something about student research. So we have always believed that to develop a culture of research, we have to sow its seed at the undergraduate level. So in addition to this overall Office of Research, Innovation and Commercialization, we have a dedicated department of undergraduate medical research. Until this date, pioneering the national UMR conferences by undergraduate students for undergraduate students, 17 annual conferences have taken place with almost 1637 research projects that have been presented in these conferences. Also, our students have been a source of accomplishment for the organization as well, and they have won several national and international research awards. Not only the undergraduate students, but the postgraduate students have already been working on their research projects, and they have completed 68 projects. And there are 46 basic sciences and 33 FCPS projects to be completed. So when we say about undergraduate medical research, I am going to take some time to discuss undergraduate medical research at Peshawar Medical College, because this has been a brainchild of the patron of Prime Foundation, Professor Dr. Najib Haq, and this has been a success story all the way from the very beginning. As I said, it just happened the 17th Undergraduate Medical Research Conference. So in these 17 years, we have evolved a long way, and have helped our students in promoting research in various levels. So how do we go about it? Initially, what we did, we started research mentorship program where supervisors were trained, capacity building was done, and they were encouraged to lead various projects alongside students. And then came the students, where we started integrating their research into our own mindset of overall accomplishment of various projects. So student researchers have been performing various clinical trials, various mixed method studies in their research. So how do they do it? Because, you know, medical research, medical studentship is very time consuming and very focused. But what we have done is we have started rotations, like clinical rotations, like the undergrad students in their clinical years, they go to clinical rotations of medicine, clinical rotation of surgery, and other subjects. So not only they go to these rotations, but they have also started going to one rotation in their undergrad um, subject curriculum towards research, where they are not only taught about research, but they are assessed, and these marks are part and parcel of the overall academic assessment program of that year. So this has led to a great um, achievement towards getting more students involved, getting more students into research, and we encourage them to at least publish one research project in the undergraduate research program, and we encourage them otherwise as well, which I'm going to take a leap later I'll be describing the publication incentive program of Prime Foundation. So this has been a hallmark of our research, the undergraduate medical research. So when we talk about research excellence, the fundamental emphasis and commitment by Prime for research at its institute. So we talk about the development of institutional review board for the faculty and postgraduate students. And not only that, we have developed ethical review committee for undergraduate research and facilitation of these students as at their undergraduate levels. So as I said, we are also holding dedicated research incentives programs. And these are some faculty researches that I'm showing in the last 5 years. These are year-wise publication where we have published in the impact factor and non-impact factor journals. And this is department-wise publication throughout the course of the years of Prime Foundation. When we talk about institutional review board, as I said, the emphasis has been a lot towards getting ethics in our program all the way. So the focus, the main idea came from the establishment of IRB, from being a part of Committee on Publication Ethics. I had the honor to be a part of Committee on Publication Ethics Councilship, and we still follow their guidelines on various research and publication level queries, and that's how we move forward. The next is a summary of publication incentives. The Prime Foundation, under the leadership of Professor Najibul Haq, started having publication incentive program in 2015. And till date, we have received 391 applications for publication incentives. We have shortlisted them. There have been papers that have been published in Impact Factor and otherwise as well, and their authors have been given cash incentives. These cash incentives have been categorized on the level of various publication standards. We started with a lenient start, and we invited everyone to be involved in that. But then after one and the second and the third, we started making it a bit tougher for the competition to take place on a bigger level. So if we were to encourage every publication in the beginning, in the last application for publication incentives, we have made it to the lower level as well to be having a paper with impact factor. So we have gone that some impact factor, then another category of impact factor of 1 or more, then another category of impact factor 3 or more, another category of impact factor 5 and more, and the publication incentives starting from 3 lakh to 50,000 have been decided based on where the category stands and which impact factor the paper has been published in. So as I said in my previous slide, that we have been supported by Public Health Interventions Unit of Prime Foundation. So they have a lot of work in various geographical locations in KP and KP related tribal districts. And they have managed to have grants worth 2130 million, 2,130 million, if I make it the other way, 21 billion rupees grant in 42 projects that have been on nutrition, health, protection, research and service, capacity building, and information systems in this regard. These are some statistics that I've just shown you. We have capacity building programs where we have invited people from inside and outside. We have participated in various events. We have got publications from our faculty, and then research presented in undergraduate medical research conferences. These are all have been a part and parcel of the overall Prime Foundation statistics. Challenges and opportunities, we always see that wherever there are challenges, there are opportunities. So we have already led from there. But these challenges that I'm going to show you, which hinder the research progress, and you already know, we have tried to overcome these by various measures. And I'll go through these measures in a later slide. Of course, you know, there are inadequate infrastructure, limited resources, shortage of trained researchers, funding constraints, poor collaboration, quality assurance issues, and so on and so forth. Regulatory hurdles as well. So if you see that these are all some of the hindrances that we have been facing, and not only us, but other researchers that have been working in Pakistan have been facing regarding facilities, regarding technical constraint, regarding skilled researchers shortage, financial support, limited coordination amongst stakeholders, challenges in maintaining standards, complex approval processes from regulatory bodies. So these all have been there, but what we have done is to turn challenges into opportunities and addressing gaps in clinical research. So for inadequate infrastructure, we have started investing ourselves in the infrastructure. We have started having public-private partnerships, and we have started having agreements where technology transfer programs have taken place. For limited resources, we've already working on seeking alternative funding sources, partnerships with philanthropic organizations, and cost-saving measures. In terms of shortage of trained researchers, where we thought that we can play a big role, we have been training our faculty and running programs of training faculty. We have started training and mentorship initiatives for undergraduates and collaboration with international institutions that I'll show you in the future slides. In terms of funding constraints, there have been two-tier approach. One is to advocate for increased funding, diversifying funding sources, and then those who publish their papers, they get publication incentives. So if the funding does not come before, they get some financial benefit afterwards. Then poor collaboration has been addressed by formal collaboration agreements. I've shown you the collaboration MOUs with academic organization as well, and I'll be showing some other collaboration and networking and incentivizing collaboration in various aspects in the future slides. Then for the regulatory hurdles, we have been advocating for regulatory reforms. We have been advocating with the Pakistan Medical and Dental Council, and lately we have got our clinical trial organization registered with the DRAP of Pakistan. So that has improved and enhanced the communication. And of course, we have started regulatory training for researchers as well, so that they do not get regulatory hurdles. Not only that, our focus is on quality assurance issues, and we have been implementing quality management system, training on GCP standards, and then regular audits and inspections. In this regard, I must say that to achieve all that, we have a big research unit under the umbrella of Office of Research. And as I said, The undergraduate office is separate with a separate director with a small team dealing just that. And same goes for the public health intervention unit, where it is led by a separate director, who is also our executive director, Professor Saeed Anwar. And he has been leading this and managing all those programs from his limited resources. But we also have research managers in the main research office. We have got research officers, we have got quality assurance officer, we have got data analysis officer. So all in all, everything is tried to be covered in the research office to address gaps in clinical research. As I said, collaboration and partnerships are important because they have to have a role in advancing clinical research in Pakistan. We have been focusing on collaboration between academia, industry, and government organization, and there are a lot of success stories. I'm going to talk about that in the later slides. These are some research partners in the international fraternity who have worked with us in terms of research, in terms of running various projects that have been shown previously in the slides of faculty research and public health intervention unit initiatives. These are some UN partners that have been very fundamental in our progress in various projects and surveys. And then, of course, some national partners that have been at the heart of our research in various levels. So when we talk about success stories, I'm going to talk about the impact on a policy level, because to me, policy level initiatives have always been important, because they not only address a single unit, a single person, but they can be transformed and translated into various big level initiatives by the stakeholders that are involved. So we did a policy forum in the health sector issues, budget priorities some time back. And we invited the then state officials to talk about the budget priorities and how health can be a part of it, where we proposed a lot of things, and we've tried to give them our initiative and our ideas about various budget priorities. And I'm sure a lot of things happened afterwards from their perspective, and not to the satisfaction of our organizational team, but of course, something is better than nothing. So we feel that this has played a role. Then we had another policy forum, mental health issues in school children, where we talked about the issues related to mental health problems that school children face. A lot of positive energy came from this, and various initiatives were taken. Schools were approached, and various other organizations took it seriously and took it further. Another health policy forum was mental health issues in primary care settings. This has led to a lot of future work in research in primary care settings. Various clinical trials based on the mental health issues were dealt not only in primary care setting, but taking the advantage of these initiatives in the liaison area as well, where various trials that were related to mental health issues, related to patients presenting in obstetrics and gynecology, patient presenting in diabetes and endocrinology units, were taken care of in those researches that were basically stemming from promoting and advocating about mental health issues in primary care settings. So this was something that we did some time back. Then came another important policy health forum. This was about hospital waste management, because this has been very important in the waste disposal and other areas, which led to various pollution and other aspects related to healthcare as well. So we have been fortunate that this led to a lot of movement from the government, and various rules and regulations were introduced after this policy forum. Leading to that, these policy briefs were issued in various aspects, and one of those that I wanted to show is about calculated financial suggestion for developing mother-to-child transmission of hepatitis B preventable from our organization. And this has led to a budgetary change in the availability of vaccination for mother to avoid mother-to-child transmission of hepatitis B. So this has been another success story. Not only that, we have been fortunate that our various researchers have had the opportunity to grab positions in the international arena. The last BMJ award that was held in India, one of the research from our institution got the best research award, and it got a lot of accolade of the interventions that has been taking place in our organization. Not only the research arena, we have been fortunate to get awards from American Psychiatric Association for technological advancement strategies in terms of public health interventions in mental health, especially in the field of depression. And it led to the award from American Psychiatric Association. And that's all from it. And I thought I'll stay very brief and I'll be very precise to conclude everything in 25 minutes as advised. So if there is any question, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Thank you so much, Dr. Irfan. So maybe we can get some comments and then go to Q&A. Dr. Zaid, Dr. Umar Hayat, Dr. Silvat Singh.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Mohammad Irfan. It's a journey and a continuous journey. You know, you very well mentioned all the obstacles from different aspects. You know, if you take it like that, it appears that it's very hard to move on. But if, you know, we accompany with you in this journey, we can see where there is a will, there is a way, and you created a way forward based on consistent motivation, strong conviction. And I'm so happy now you see that there are people like Dr. Umar who brought the clinical trials and bringing from North America, very cutting edge with Gates Foundation. So Professor Umar Hayat will be happy Dr. Umar Hayat to share with you some of the potential linking opportunities. And maybe, you know, as you mentioned, you can move with the group, with the big company. So he's there. Dr. Mariad, would you share something, you know, your vision and your linking with the Gates Foundation to bring some basic public health trial we were discussing in the past, please? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Dr. Ozair. In fact, this is one of the reason we are holding this platform, to show to the world that we have the clinical research, we have the clinicians, we have the qualified investigators, we have the sites, and we are constantly making an effort to convince the industry in particular, I will say, because that's where the funding will come. I mean, of course, there is a Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation who is already conducting one trial in the arena of malnutrition, but TB has been their focus. And Pakistan, I always tell to the industry and to the CRO world, like if you want to conduct a trial on TB in US, even for 20 patients, good luck. You may need probably 2 to 3 years to enroll the patients. But if you have even the, let's say, the 400 patients, believe me, I can complete that trial within a week. I mean, all I need to do is go to the Gulab Devi and take the patient consent form from bed number 1 all the way to the bed number 200 and probably another hospital, and we will have the 400 patients. So there is a motivation actually to conduct the trials in the countries like Pakistan. Yes, we do have the challenges, but that's how we are working with the DRAP. I mean, they have made the system quite flexible, especially for the existing drugs. So I think the hopes are there. I forgot to mention trial 360. Certainly, we are going after the animal trials, but we are also active in the human trials. And there are, as you showed the statistics, there are a lot of CROs. I don't want to say just the trial 360. There are a lot of, I think it was 20 CROs, which are quite active. And they are also not only conducting the trials, but also doing a lot of marketing. So which also put the Pakistan on the front row. in terms of the attracting the trials. So yes, I think I will ask my team to get in touch with you and see where we can collaborate. So the vision, I will not call just my vision. I think this is our countrywide vision and the APPNA vision. We really want to attract the world and bring the trials. I mean, it's a huge, even from if we look from as a business case, it's a huge market, and we should have our fair share. We are fifth largest country on the earth, but we have only 0.51%. That doesn't make sense. And we have a highly qualified and talented people in Pakistan. And talking to the prevalence of the disease, I mean, pick a disease, we have the patients for sure. So I will stop here, Dr. Zah. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much, Dr. Umar. Dr. Sarwat, you have, substantial work on two fronts, the quality assurance, number one, and you are the pioneer in writing a books, particularly about the developing countries and the role of radiology. You are so humble to say student. You are the founder of radiology, and you established in Khan the first chapter and the first lab, and you're setting everything. So now whenever you plan, you are so frequent traveler to Pakistan, but generally we go to Lahore, Islamabad or Karachi and come back. Why not really to include KPK? Now you have a linkage. Please share your experience and your idea of writing a book, particularly, which is the starting point, and your experience with the quality assurance, please. Please go ahead.
Gee, thank you very much, brother Umar Hayat Sahab and Sarfraz Hasni, and of course Uzair Bhai. You guys will be remembered in the history when the history of research in Pakistan will be written. So basically, there are 3 points that I picked up, which I think are relevant. Number one is to start the research at the student level, which is really, really commendable. Secondly, is the collaboration that is forced, that is to some extent missing in our country. And thirdly, what I would recommend that in addition to everything you're doing, Professor, is to think of a publication department in your institution, which will not only bring the articles and papers, but when you write articles, paper, or do research, you have to scan the existing literature exhaustively. And that scanning of the literature can lead to writing your own books. And I'm these days sound like a broken record, where I think we should begin to write our own books, not only the textbooks, but also research methods, etc., that are available in the Western world, but modify them to our own realities. Because at this time, we follow the research methods and methodology and all that basic stuff from written by the Western authors. We need to develop our own original work so that the developing world and the third world and the low and middle income countries can subscribe to those methods that are applicable in low income and low resource environment. So in that regard, I think we can make really big strides by developing a publication department along with the research department. So those will be my comments, sir.
Now we are moving. We have a question. So let's. I think the question has been already been responded by Professor Dr. Muhammad Irfan. So now, Dr. Sarfraz Hasni, you have been traveling to Pakistan many a time, doing a grand round and so many activities. So have you ever thought of including, all the provinces which is far flung like the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa? So what is your experience and what you have seen in terms of the capacity, like in the mainstream province, Sindh and Punjab and any, the other provinces which are not that much developed, the KPK and Balochistan. So do you see any plan, any opportunity to bridge this gap, please?
No, absolutely. I think even before the webinar was starting today, I was just going to say that I personally have never been to KPK, but I have listened to so many people presenting from the province. I'm really um, surprised and I'm very impressed that they are doing a tremendous job in terms of research, in terms of trying to make an impact. I mean, the case in place today. But I think overall, the view from the APPNA MERIT is to instigate or to establish the clinical research culture in Pakistan, and I think that's pretty much across the board. Um, I don't think that I'm probably not in the best position to compare one province versus other. I've been outside of the Pakistan for a very long time, and I only go there for like few days. But I think I'm very impressed with Dr. Mohammed Irfan. Is actually there is a question in the chat about the quality control data and audit reports. So I'm not sure if you can speak to that, but they're asking if you have any data about quality control QC process.
So, in essence, I mean, we've had papers where the ethics have had questions, and then these have been deferred to the quality control department. However, various aspects of these have mostly been towards the issues related to authorship, issues related to various aspects of uh, uh, collaboration, not specifically the quality control of the trial itself. Since we are all in the evolving process here, when we open these streams, we yet to have very focused and concrete feedback as well. So yes, we have received some aspects from various areas, but not exactly the way quality assurance is dealt with, and not exactly as we want it to be.
So I think I can comment on that one based on the experience. This is something we are lacking. Okay, normally it's always the point for scrutiny, even when we conduct the trial in highly regulated markets. But they are well prepared. Okay, so we are not. So that's something I think we should emphasize in our clinical research, how the data is important. Because the way normally I tell to my people is science is a religion. Okay. And basically, when you publish something, the other peoples in that space, either they need to take to the next level based on your conclusion, or they say this area is already explored and I don't need to work. So how valuable it, either you can deceive somebody to take the wrong path based on your conclusion. So I think the data is, how we say, the God we trust, and rest need to show the data. So I think this is a very, very important subject when it comes to the integrity of the data. The other thing I will also encourage, actually, whoever is in the clinical research, we should generate the data which we can trace and verify. That's number one. And number two, write the documents, I call it ready to submit, whether it's a draft, whether it's the FDA. So your documents should be such, and that's how we will attract the industry. So I'm focusing mostly on the industry side. So if we really want to attract the industry, A, we should be able to show what we have done. And secondly, it should be ready to submit. So we need to format in a way which is required by the agencies, whether it's a local or ethics committees. So it should be, so we should train our peoples to a certain format as well. But the quality of the data, obviously, very, very important, because that makes the basis for the science, and that makes the basis for the approval of the drug. That makes the basis for the any conclusion you draw from your research in medical field.
Thank you very much. I must appreciate whatever you said, and I think I totally agree that this is something very important and has already been integral to the improvement in research. Because as you rightly mentioned, whenever you go in the field of funding and grants, unless you have something at the baseline level and you exactly know where you stand, how can you move a step ahead? How can you scale up? So this is very important, and we have been trying to do that. As I briefly mentioned, in the interest of time, I just moved fast on the aspect of our primary outlet unit, and I just wanted to tell that when we started with this, we aimed that we are going to make this primary intervention unit or primary outlet of ours, which is located in a semi-rural area, and we deliver health and educational and early child development services. So we started getting the baseline data, and we are in the process that we should be achieving it very soon, so that when we apply for a longer term grant or for a longer term coordination with other organization, there should be a baseline set from where we can show that we have achieved something in X amount of time. So that is very important, and I think you have very well mentioned that.
Thank you very much, Professor Irfan. There are a couple of feedback from the participant. Many of them, they have shown their interest and they are willing and requesting to know more about the Prime and PMC initiative. If you can write down the link to contact and find more information in the chat box, that is going to be very helpful. So my next, really not the question, but request is, because we receive mixed feeling about the Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan's role, and you have been giving them the feedback at the policy level. So you passed through this experience of clinical trial unit registration with them. So we have a mixed feeling. So what is the prime experience about getting the medical trial unit approved? So was it a lengthy, quite cumbersome procedure, or it's a very straightforward? So what was the prime experience on this?
To be honest, I would say that we are not unhappy on that, because considering that the authority itself have started lately registering the organizations, I think they did pretty good job with us. And I would always see things in a positive way. Whenever I see challenges, as I mentioned in my presentation as well, I would consider the opportunities associated with these challenges. When people tell me that it's difficult with infrastructure and financial constraint do research in Pakistan, I did say the same what Umar Hayat Sahab has mentioned, that you see the possibility of doing anything in a way that you can achieve things is much easier here as well. So if you have other constraints, there are other positivities as well. So for the draft, I would say the process of getting registered as a contract research organization has been smooth. Not much. Of course, it takes time. There have been some delays while making a group of people who visit and give back their feedback to draft to issue us the authorization. Yes, and again, as you know, a lot of this happens because of lack of people who are willing to go as a technical expert to visit a place and then give their feedback based on what they saw there. So I think we were very happy with their feedback and registration of our foundation as the contract research organization. So no hard feelings on that.
Oh, great.
The same
So,
thing I think I will have to say, because I went through this process. The one thing is, whoever want to register the CRO business, need to meet the fundamentals, okay, and take it serious. I remember, I can probably brag this about as well. Like, we got the approval in the first inspection, not even the second. Some of the companies have gone through the multiple inspections because we prepared so well. The trainings, the SOPs, the everything should be in place. I mean, the requirements, whether it's a freezer requirement, the archives, all those things should be in place. So I don't think, to me, the way we were training, I can share this one. So when we were preparing ourselves, I was training to the people saying, look, we are not targeting the trap. We are targeting the international clients, and we are targeting the FD. Of course, a big dream. We were not able to achieve. I mean, even now we don't have the inspection from the FDA, but inshallah we will have it one day. But DRAP was so easy then. We know how to receive the inspector. But there is a lot of training which we are missing. I will have to say this. So it's easy to blame. The agency will also grow over the time. I'm not saying that they are the FDA, but we also need to grow. So it goes really hand in hand. The both parties need to work hard to reach to the point where things become of the high quality and the smooth.
Thank you, Umar.
If you allow me,
Yes,
sir,
Professor
I
Said.
just want to say a word on that. I think one important aspect has to be a group of people that has to form a consortium on that. And although this can be led by DRAP itself, like uh, Pakistan Medical and Dental Council has a body, a group of people who evaluate journals. So these are not their these are not their employees. These are people from us, the scientific fraternity. As a president of Pakistan Association of Medical Editors, most of them are part of our organization who voluntarily do all this business. So what happens is, when a regulatory body meets or gets the influence or the expertise from the experts of the field, when these both combine, they do wonders. So I think if someone is having some links, they can advise DRAP to make a group of people who can be contacted as an expert, so that an organization that wants to be registered has had I mean, before applying, should have the opportunity to go through a discussion with an expert, so that when they are applying, they don't see anything coming right from the blue. So they should be able to exactly know, these are the tick box. You have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things, and then you have to apply. Once you do that, you go by the book, everything is sorted.
Great. So before moving to Dr. Sarwat Hussain, just two quick things. So somebody asked, before any research, you need a validated data. This is the basic problem in Pakistani institutions. So is there any mechanism, or is there anything that can be done really to get this validated data, based on your experience, Dr. Irfan?
Uh, well, I mean, you see, I personally believe that if we have to have various registries in the country, where these these registries should serve as databases, and everything from various corners have to be gathered there. So I think in the areas where these databases exist, they do wonders. I would say and narrate the examples of Scandinavia. A lot of long-term data emerges from Scandinavia, because everything is stored and in place in various registries in various ways. So I'm pretty confident that if we start just by collecting all this data and making this a big database, a pool, I think various aspects can be addressed. However, again, as Umar Hatsab mentioned, the core is the quality work. If you have quality work with you, you can rely on that, and you can have output based on that quality work. Whether it be census, whether it be the knowledge about prevalence, whether it be the knowledge about interventions that work and that don't work, all these are based on the reliable quality data, and that is the way forward to me.
Great. So, just a comment. The Pakistani draft team was here in US. They stayed for like 5 days. They had a meeting with FDA, and they had a meeting with us as well. and we will pass on your suggestion to involve the expert advisory body, as you rightly mentioned right now, for the clinical trials. So that's a very, very good step, very helpful sport and tool really to prime the people who are going to go for inspection and thing. Now over to Dr. Sarbat Hussain.
I was just going to say a very, very quick comment about quality. I think one of the missing link in the quality is allowing enough budgeting for quality, which means evaluation and assessment and feedback. And I think in our clinical institutions, one of the reasons that the quality is missing generally is because we do not allow enough resources on the evaluation and feedback part, or time for things like M&M and other conferences, because that takes away time from the service. And those are the, if you will, the investments that will give dividends at the end of the day by implementing, as Umar Hayat Bhai said, that the religion that you are following. So I think quality does not come free. It does require resources, and that needs to be. And then actually the non-scientific overseers of the institution don't really fully understand that quality is expensive and allow for the resources. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, Dr. Sarfraz Hasni, it's over to you.
Okay,
And what a
thank you.
fantastic session, and what a great talk, very crisp, and full of information. So over to you, Dr. Sarfraz.
Thank you so much. So again, thank you so much to Professor Dr. Mohammad Irfan for a very enlightening and informative talk and discussion. I see that some discussion about the subject panelist in the chat also, with DRAP putting a roster of subject specialists can help in making things much faster. So I think these comments are more directed towards them than you. But I just wanted to read them loud so that everybody can hear.
I've already responded to that as well.
You did? Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you so much. So definitely. So again, thank you so much. This was very useful and very fruitful. Something which we are trying to achieve is to start having these type of discussions, these type of conversations, trying to bring the clinical research up on everybody's radar. We are very good at clinical practice, taking care of patients, even with limited resources. But I think it's time that as a country, as professionals, we move to the next obvious level, which is one of the reasons behind these webinars, and which Dr. Mohammad Irfan has very eloquently alluded to during his talk. So, Dr. Saab, thank you again for all of your information and talks. And again, thank you to our panelists. And we'll come and see you. All in about 2 weeks. And please stay tuned for the next announcement. And last but not least, thank you to Waleed and the technical team behind these webinars, who have been working behind the scenes to make sure everything runs seamlessly. So thank you, everyone, and take care.
Thank you once again for the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.